Hi everybody, this is Jeff Veale with 15 Minutes of Fame. I've got a very special guest today. You'll be happy with this particular person I'm going to introduce you to shortly. But guys, more importantly, we've been doing this the whole month of May, and we're at the halfway mark now. So if you want 15 minutes of fame, reach out. And we give you 15 minutes of fame. Think of it like a commercial, guys. If you went on TV, it's 15 minutes. It'll cost you about $30,000. If you did the same spot on radio with 5 or 10 spots, that would cost you $5,000. My company is going to put you all across social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and more importantly, YouTube. You're going to reach thousands of people around the world totally free by getting your 15 minutes of fame. So if, like my next guest, you'd like 15 minutes of fame, reach out. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel, guys, because there are dozens of people on here sharing their experience with you. So this is how you get your 15 minutes of fame. Speaking of 15 minutes of fame, I'm going to introduce my guest today. I'm going to tell you a bit about him. He's Peter Andrew Beckingham. And Peter is a founder of an online sales coaching program like you've never seen before, guys. He's known locally. He lives in Thailand. He's an Aussie, been there for many, many years. He's known as the village marketer. He's fairly new to this industry, guys. He's only been doing it for 35 years. Imagine that, just 35 years. Got a long way to go. He shows online small business owners how to rapidly grow their business by deliberately not trying to sell. He's got a very unique style, guys. You don't need to sell, guys, right? So he's got a very unique style. He's going to tell you a bit more about that shortly. His key achievements. He was top sales manager of Australia for 6 consecutive years in the insurance industry. Can you imagine how tough that is, guys? Can you imagine how many people are fighting for that spot? And he was a top dog for 6 years running, right? He doubled the incomes of his online coaching client, usually within 3 months. And that's for the people who listen and implement what he tells you, guys. Pay attention and listen and take action, right? Plus, he's proud to have moved from 2-figure earners to 7-figure earners, and both remain as clients for more than 5 years. What's that tell you, guys? He's got a mission on a project to keep all the students in the school, at least till the end of high school, in our remote Thai village, enables the kids in our village to have more employment opportunities rather than leaving school at 12 or 13 to go and work in the rice paddies and that sort of ilk, guys. His personal motto, it's a good one. It's a testament to the man. Try to create a memorable moment for someone every single day. I can assure you guys, he does that for many, many people, right? Interesting fact, he spent 16 wonderful years as a high school teacher. I imagine him being a teacher and being promoted to a level that was only admin. And that's something says he was useless at. Then it took me 5 attempts to get a role as an insurance agent, as everyone probably thought he was too nice, right? Because he's a very nice guy. But I was serious. They knew from my successful teaching career, that's when I discovered you can make many more sales if you want to deliberately don't try and sell your insurance or any other product for that matter. So guys, I'm going to be putting all these social links in our YouTube video later, and you'll get him across all different social platforms. But it's my pleasure to introduce my friend, Peter Beckingham. Good morning, Peter.
Hey, Jeffrey. Hello, everybody. I just want to correct you on one thing there, Jeffrey. The reason why I enjoyed the insurance industry is because I never learned anything about the products. Okay, I spent 20-odd years in the insurance industry after I was a teacher, and I never knew anything about any product at all. Not a single thing. But I employed 2 kids I had from school with me, and they trained me all the ins and outs of the products, right? And I go in, I'd be talking to Jeff. How you doing, Jeff? Good, good. You here to talk about insurance? I said, well, I'm not. I don't know anything about it. You want to talk about it? And I'll tell them the truth. Part of the thing about it, you mentioned earlier, I like to give people memorable experiences, but I also like to give them the unexpected. And also, in other words, if you put a hat on me called sales manager, they're the 2 worst worlds in the world. Sales coach. A coach, they become a heavy man and his dog. There's more coaches than clients, right? And sales coach, oh my God, what a combination that is, right? So to me, that's the challenge I've got. But you know, I love it, Jeff. I really love it. Because at the end of the day, it's got nothing to do with making people buy anything, right? It's got everything to do with making them feel comfortable to actually open up their heart and share with you what really is the problem. And unfortunately, too many people these days just vomit all over people as quick as they can, right? They talking to Jeff Veale and they say, Jeff, tell me about this, whatever it is.
Your biggest challenge.
Yeah, you mentioned something, or I got the solution for that, Jeff. You were in the right place at the right time. Hallelujah, right? Yeah. Well, my godfather, I mean, Jeff's gonna say, go. Anyway, so that's me. I enjoy what I do. I work with solopreneurs and small businesses, but only online, not offline, because I'm nowhere near anybody. I'm in a remote little Thai village, as Jeff referred to before, right? And the reason, by the way, that I left teaching and had trouble getting a job as a life insurance agent wasn't because I was too nice, which you said, Jeffrey. It was because they didn't believe me. I mean, these people, I used to go into the offices, these are life insurance offices, looking for a job as an agent. I'd never been an agent in my life before. And the reason I took up the role is because my wife said, why are you leaving teaching? I said, because I hate it. I'm an administration nightmare. They just give me, because I keep getting promoted, which is part of I mean, I want to get promoted, but I thought I could always still teach at the same time. But they said, no, you can't do that. So I said, okay, see you later. So I said, what's the worst job you can think of? Well, that one was a life insurance agent, the other one was a second-hand car dealer, right? So I took up the role, and it took me 6 goes to get a job. I'd walk in there and manager Jeff would say, what are you doing? I said, I'm just come for a job as an agent. I'm just going to happen. I'm serious. I said, no. I'm serious. I want to get a job as an agent. 5 different life officers turned me down because they knew me. Right?
Yes.
I had to go and find a life insurance officer that didn't know who I was. And
you sound like Colonel Sanders, Pete. You started, you're knocking all those doors.
Yeah. Well, I got into this office and I said, you taking on any agents today? Yeah, what a stupid question that is, right? And they said, well, yeah, probably. I said, can I talk to the manager? He said, are you serious? I said, yeah, I'm serious. What do you know about insurance? I said, nothing. Not a thing. You've been to sales before? No. You want me or not? Long story short, I was Rookie of the Year in my first year. I earned twice as much as I would have earned as a school principal. Right?
Fantastic.
Then they started introducing me to teach other people how I did it, okay, which is really not trying to sell anything. That's my whole philosophy, right? And I didn't know anything about the product. I just had the kids with me and they could talk about the product. And they said, finally, we want you to go into management. I said, why? Because we want you to teach other people. I said, fine, I'll do that. But on my terms. I don't want your car. Okay, I don't want to go on a salary. I'm self-sufficient. I'm independent. I'm living on commission. That's exactly what I want because I can decide what I do when I do it. All right. Once I become an employee, I've lost all that freedom. I don't want to do that. So they took it on begrudgingly. They said, you're crazy because you're missing out on a company car. I don't want your company car.
Yep.
And then became, yes, very successful as a sales manager, 6 years in a row. I'm very proud of my team, very proud of them. Okay, they did well. And then they've offered me a role as a national sales manager. And I said, what does that mean? Well, that means we want you to teach the way you teach people how to sell to everyone in Australia, not just to your own area. I said, okay, I'll do that. Good. Well, you can have some shares. And I said, no, I don't want any of that. I don't want any salary. But you got to have. I said, no, I don't want that. Why? I said, I'll do it on contract. Here's my deal for you, all right? And you can take it or leave it, I don't really mind, because I can stay as my sales manager. I'm making a fortune anyway, right? Here's my deal. Give me 0.25% of the net increase in net commissions.
Wow.
All right? And they thought, you're crazy. You're walking away from share purchases and this and that. I said, is it a deal or not? I said, yeah, of course. And after 1 year, Jeffrey, they never repeated the offer.
I wonder why.
Never repeated the offer, right? So that was my insurance career. And I got to the stage when I became sick of the corporate environment, okay, and I was traveling all the damn time, and which really destroyed my first marriage, to be quite frank with you. That's one of the things. And I take full responsibility for that. But then I thought, what am I going to do now? Well, I might as well start my own damn business. But that's what I did. I've been doing it ever since.
Well, you're like me, Peter. I work for a lot of people. I was sick of working for all these idiots. I decided to work for a lunatic. So I started to work for myself. You know?
Yeah.
That's how it is sometimes, guys.
We are our own worst boss, that's for sure.
Yeah. Let me ask you a few questions, Pete. What's
Sure.
been the most challenging aspect of your work over the years, and how have you overcome it?
The most challenging aspect for me, I still haven't overcome it. And that's time. Leveraging my time. Yeah, I've got 4 VAs, okay? But I'm not a good manager of time, Jeffrey. I'm not.
No. Join the club.
I put it into my calendar in the order I've got to have them done. So I know I do all the right things that way, right?
Yes.
But I can't cut off. That's my problem.
Yeah, I'm a bit the same.
I get
Yeah.
excited too much. Well, shouldn't say that. Sorry, better language. I get excited about what I do.
That's right. You're passionate.
I enjoy it.
Yep.
I enjoy it, and I'm passionate about that. So at the end of the day, I sit back and think about what I did and how I did it and how I can do it better and all that sort of thing.
Correct.
And I look forward. I really look forward to meeting new people. I mean, in one of the hardest things people face is they call it prospecting, right?
Yes.
Well, they're dead in the water from the word go. If they think they're going to go prospecting, they're thinking with a sales mindset.
Yes.
They instead think about simply building a connection with no agenda.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I know Jeff and I are complete opposites to this. I understand what
That's right. I'm like the guy in Tin Man.
yeah, I know. But to me, I reach out to between 5 and 10 people every day, and I love it. I really love it. And I don't talk about anything but them.
Yes.
Nothing about me. And in fact, I didn't even realise until the end. Oh, what about you? I said, don't worry about me. I just really appreciate talking to you, Jeff. That's really good. Tell me a bit more about that. Okay?
That's right.
So in the end, I said, look, time's up for me. I went, you want to meet again? Share me a bit more about your story, about you talked about where you started. Let's see why you are where you are right now. I'd love to hear
Correct.
that.
And where do you want to go to? Yeah, all that. Yep,
Yeah.
perfect.
And no one says no.
No, they wouldn't.
Because they love talking about themselves, right?
Correct.
So all I do is get them to open up, and finally they get to a point and I say, well, tell me about what are some of the biggest issues you're facing right now, which is what the question you just asked, Jeffrey, right?
Yeah, well, that's my next question. What's the most challenging aspect of your work, Peter, and how do you overcome that?
Well, that's the one you asked me before.
Did I? Okay, well, there you go. I've got ADD like you. Can you tell us the most important moment in your career that changed the direction that you're going? What changed your direction, Peter? From basically, what changed from school teacher to what you do now? And how'd you end up in a little Thai village rather than being in the big smoke?
What changed me I love teaching. In fact, I'm still teaching, Jeff, to be quite frank, right? I'm teaching adults, but they're like kids anyway.
Yeah, right.
That's no disrespect to people watching the podcast, right? But I left teaching because I couldn't teach anymore because I was just doing administration on an administration nightmare, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I went into the sales arena, as I mentioned before, right? And I ended up in Thailand because during that stint, I was the general manager of distribution for Southeast Asia. In terms of there was a joint venture in companies called National Mutual and MLC, which are taken over by a whole lot of other things now that probably don't even exist, right? Capital Financial Group. And they sent me to Asia as the general manager of distribution to build 2 joint ventures, one in Indonesia and one in Thailand. 3, one in Hong Kong.
Wow.
And I, by the way, still wasn't on salary, right? I was on my own little game there.
Mhm.
So that's why I ended up there. And when I was in Thailand, I sort of fell in love with the person who was in charge of housekeeping at the hotel.
Unbelievable. Sliding doors moment, huh?
Well, yeah, and took her 6 months to have lunch with me because I didn't think she could speak a word of English, because I reckon I'm stuttering around in Thai trying to impress her, and she's just going. And she come in and rub her fingers on the road to see what it's all about, whether the housekeepers have done their job properly. Anyway, 6 months later, I said, listen, every morning I work in here, then in the afternoon I see you, and in the afternoon I go and do the work I do outside, and in the evening I do presentations. That's why, and I see you every day, you come in here, but you never say anything. Do you speak English? And I tried to say, Pastor Thai, you speak Pastor Thai. She said, I speak better English than you speak Thai. Long story short, I had lunch with her, provided I took 4 people with me, right?
Yes.
I took 4 people with her. And then 18 months later, I married her. And
Fantastic story.
The most beautiful soul I've ever had in my life. No, unfortunately, lost her 12 months ago, 2 days ago.
Yes, what a pity. What a pity, Peter. I know she was your rock.
Yeah, and one beautiful person.
Yes.
So,
all right.
And I'm in the village.
Yeah, moving on. In your opinion, Pete, what are the key qualities and skills that you believe have contributed to your success overall?
One is getting off your butt, right?
Yeah, taking action. Yeah, action gets traction.
Taking action. There's so many people who are could-be or would-be's, and they spend their time going to courses, right? After course after course, and that's just putting things off. In fact, I heard these words the other day, and this is really interesting. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Procrastination is the assassination of your destination.
Not bad.
Not bad, huh? Not
Yeah.
bad. So when you think about it, if you're going to procrastinate and do nothing, then you're going to fail. So you got to take action. You got to be persistent. You got to do the unexpected. You got to give people a memorable experience. And the way to give a memorable experience is to show them and make them feel, oh my God, Jeff, I wish I'd met you 10 years ago.
You pick up some good points, Pete. One about, I want to bring up similar to what Peter just said about a job. Guys, a job is something they give you so that you don't follow your dreams, right? A job is just on broke. Peter didn't want a job. He wanted life on his terms, and he did that, and he has done that most of his life, right? So if you've got a job, guys, and you hate it, get out and do something you're passionate about, like Peter has done, and is still doing it to this day.
Yeah, I'm no spring chicken, everybody. I'm 78, right? And
unbelievable, and still going strong.
Well, I intend to be the world's oldest, most successful sales coach.
Well, I hope that's not true, because I hope to beat you. We'll have a challenge.
We'll have a challenge.
Winner take all. Yeah. So guys, we've both got the Opera House booked. We're going to go back and do a presentation in Sydney at the Opera House when we're 100, right? So you better book early. It might sell out. You better book early. Peter, can you discuss like a recent project or an achievement that you're particularly proud of?
Well, I'm very proud of the work I do for my mission in the village, but that's because it's a very poor area here. Right?
Very personal, yeah. It's a very personal one, Peter. You do a lot for the village, I know that.
But from a business perspective, it's a really hard question to answer, actually, Jeff.
Yeah, but I think you'd be pretty proud of, Peter, seeing the progress you make. I know some of the people you've helped. I've spoken to them on previous shows. So I think you'd be pretty proud of all the different people you've helped along the way and given them a memorable experience. Would that be right?
Yeah, I've got some really, to me, my clients become my family, right?
That's right.
And I treat them as family, which means sometimes you've got to kick him in the butt. Sometimes you've got to give him a hug. Sometimes you've got to give him some love. Sometimes you've got to stand back and think, holy mackerel, why the hell did you do that? What is it?
You sound like Ricky Stewart.
Yeah. I'm a Canberra Raiders fan, everybody. But at the end of the day, I guess the key thing for me would be the ability to be a constant, lifelong learner. And I find that is something, because it's the older I get, I get scared, Jeffrey. My old man, when he was 65, he retired, right?
Yes.
And he was someone I was so proud of. And he was smart, really smart, and a really good public speaker and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the time he was 70, he couldn't communicate. He had Alzheimer's and everything else. And so if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So that's behind me all the time. It's a bit
Yes.
it's behind me.
It drives you, yeah.
He was dead at 71.
Wow.
Okay. Which is 7 years younger than I am now.
Yes.
Right? And unfortunately, I've got 2 younger brothers. They're both passed on already, and I lost my mum.
Yeah.
And my mother is like me, right? She can go on a bus tour, Jeffrey, right? This is the perfect example. She'd go on a bus tour, and I meet her at the bus stop when she came back there, and all these people getting off the bus. She said, are you Peter's son? She said, yeah, oh, we've heard about you. Yeah, okay. And she said, oh, Ruby, what a wonderful woman she is. Everyone's saying how good my mother is, right?
Yes.
Because Mum used to move around the bus and meet everybody. Okay.
Yeah. So it's one of the original networkers, though.
Yeah, but she never talked about herself.
No, clever.
Talked about them, right?
Yes.
And that's what gave me the clue.
There's a message here, guys. I hope you're getting the message. It's not about you.
Right? If you can make the person you are talking to feel understood, feel listened to, feel special, and feel more than anything else appreciated, you are halfway there to making a hell of a good business for yourself.
Correct.
But if you try to shove something down people's throat without getting through that stage there, you're wasting your time.
Yes. Peter, what advice would you give some young, aspiring young man or woman who wants to perhaps follow in your footsteps? What advice would you give a younger version of yourself?
Be fair dinkum. I'm sorry, that's Australian.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that one.
Be real, okay?
Yeah.
Know who your target audience really is. What's the avatar for your target audience?
Yes.
I mean, if it's vague, then you're going to be vague. And if you're vague, you're gonna die in a vine, right? Everyone thinks the more people I can talk to, the better I'm going to be. No. The better people you talk to, the better you're going to be. That's the difference, right?
Yeah. I heard a good one, Peter. I'll interrupt you for a second. I heard a good one the other day. You know, you and I are both learning all the time, and we write them down. Peter writes them into a book. He's got a whole bloody book of his stuff. But one I heard the other day, guys, if you go and get cheap drinks at a bar, go to a bar looking for cheap drinks, you meet cheap people.
Yes.
You go to an expensive bar, you meet class people. So bottom line, guys, is go to a classy bar and pay the extra for the drinks, and you'll mix with the right people. You'll mix with the same type of people. Go to a cheap bar, you'll end up with cheap people. If you're cheap, go to a cheap bar. So there's a lesson to be learned there, guys, as well. And I often go to, very upmarket bars. People say, oh, you're paying $200 for a beer. I'm only paying $100. I say, that's your choice. Did you have a view? Were you on a rooftop overlooking the city? No, I was in a dingy little room without windows. Well, there you go. Big difference. Back to you, Peter. Sorry.
Really good point, Jeffrey, because you asked me a question about for those who want to follow in the footsteps of you or me, whatever it is, right?
Yes.
Here's another clue for you. If you aren't prepared to invest in yourself, then don't bother to start.
Yeah, correct.
Do not bother to start, right? Because I can tell you, everybody needs support of some sort sometime. Even the best in the world have someone to help them and guide them and whatever it is, right?
Yeah, Peter, how can you help people at the moment? You got some sort of a course or something people could do? What can you do to help people, help my listeners? People out there need a lot of help. Is there anything you could do to help people who, want to put their toe in the water, so to speak, and learn a bit about this stuff? What can you do for them?
I mean, if you want to start with a very basic thing, there's a thing I got for $39 a month. Now,
Unbelievable. Just $39 a month for all that knowledge. You're kidding me or what?
So if you don't want to pay $39 a month, then that's fine. I don't really care, right?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I've got plenty of people doing it. But $39 a month, and there's a link to it that Jeffrey will probably put on this somewhere.
I
It's
will.
called Compelling Conversations Club. And all we do, there's no agenda. So Jeff comes in and he said, this is what the potential customer said to me. What would you have said, Peter?
Yes.
How would you have done this? So I just roll on. I mean, I have no idea what they're going to say, no idea what the questions are, and I love it that way, right? And we record them, we put them in a Facebook group, and etc. So that's one compelling conversation. That's $39 a month, 2 sessions every second Friday.
Is that a group? Is that a group thing, Peter? That people can network with each other and
it's a group
learn? Fantastic! What a great way to learn, guys.
So that's one.
Yes.
And the other thing is, I'm playing with it at the moment. It's called Create Consistent Clients. Right.
Right.
How you go about creating a consistent flow of potential customers for yourself.
Very, very important, Peter. You don't want to be sitting there twiddling your thumbs all week, right? You need to be talking to people. Yeah.
Well, that's right. I mean, as I said before, you got to get off your butt to do it, right?
Yes.
But most people won't do it.
That's right.
They're waiting for people to seek them out, right?
Yeah, right. Not going to happen.
Well, it's not going to happen, right?
Imagine someone knocking your door at that little Thai village where you are. They've got to find you first.
But if you can overcome that business about I'm a prospect, forget the prospecting thing. Forget about trying to impress people with friendship and fake rapport and all that sort of crap, right? None of that. Just be genuine and talk to them about them. What's important to you in life? Tell me about that. How do you get started? The questions you're asking me, Jeffrey, right? It's the same thing.
Correct.
If you do that, people will resonate with you. If they resonate with you, they'll start to respect you. And if they respect you, right, then they'll be prepared to listen to what you have to say.
Fantastic. Peter, looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future, my friend?
I like waking up every morning, Jeffrey.
That's a good start, isn't it? When you open your eyes, you think, oh, I'm still here.
Yeah. I told you before, I'd love to be the oldest sales coach in the world. But apart from that,
not bad.
I mean, I run a private client family of one-on-ones, and I'm now got 2 group coaching areas, which I'm passionate about. And if you want to join those, come and talk to me. By the way, if I don't know whether I'll give you the link here, but just peterbeckon.com/chat, CHAT, right? That'll book a time with me. And by the way, I don't want you to come here trying to sell me anything, because I'm not going to sell you anything. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth. It may be memorable, you may not like it, but I'll get to the truth with what you're all about, all right?
And the good thing, guys, I'm going to put all these links, unlike some other people, I'm going to put all these links later in a YouTube. This YouTube video will be up very shortly, and I'll be putting all the links there to Peter. Reach out to him, have a chat, and more importantly, grab a cup of coffee and go over this and get some words of wisdom from some guy who's actually done it and is still doing it, guys. Peter lives a very comfortable lifestyle.
And loving it.
And loving it. And the passion, guys. The passion comes across, right? Peter's known for making everyone I know speaks about Peter and says, I had a memorable experience, right? And it's pretty fabulous. Peter, is there a bit of a group that you've got every week that I come along to sometimes? Is there a group that people can also reach out and possibly join the family and learn a bit more that way as well?
Yeah, your next level group. I mean, I've got no commercial
agenda. Yeah.
But by all means, your next level, if you want to find it, okay, pretty easy.
I'll drop that in the link for you as well, Peter.
Do this, peterbeckon.com/community.
Yeah, and it's a great community, guys. As we all get on there.
One's called peterbeckon.com/chat.
Yeah, there's no agenda. It's just basically Peter says, talking from the heart. We share ideas. What's our biggest challenge? What's our biggest disappointment in life? Whatever we have. Peter comes up with some incredible subjects. And what I love about it, it draws people out. As Peter's good at that. He draws people out and they start to tell the truth. right? Whether it hurts or not, they start to tell the truth, and you get to know them personally, and you meet some fantastic people, guys. That's one of many ways that Peter can help you. But I implore you guys, reach out to Peter. What's it going to cost you? Nothing. A phone call costs nothing on the internet these days. Costs you nothing. Peter's always up for a chat. Have a cup of coffee, glass of wine, beer, whatever the time of the day it is, and reach out to Peter and say hello. Peter, I'm going to wrap this up. We've discovered how people can reach out to you. Before we go, can you tell us one last thing? Can you wrap it up? Can you tell us a fun thing about yourself that most people don't know?
A fun thing?
Yeah, something about you that most people don't know. I know you're a Canberra supporter, you poor bugger. That's okay. What else? What else don't we know about you, Peter?
A fun thing for me? Yeah. I am the most impractical person you've ever seen in your life.
Describe that.
I remember building a set of steps once, right?
Yes.
And they lasted about a week. They all fell apart, okay? Because basically I put the mortar in, but I forgot to mix the water. I just put the mortar in, and poured a bucket of water over.
You're a funny man. That's hilarious.
That's one. And, I mean, that didn't work too well. And the other thing is just one thing. I told you before I was a school teacher, right?
Yes.
Well, in the early days, in my early days, you had to, I mean, I was an economics and geography graduate, this sort of thing, right? But you had to do other things. So I ended up in the woodwork class. And I'm telling you, I'm bloody useless when it comes to practical things.
Right.
We had a young guy in the class. I better be quick. I don't have time. We had a young guy in the class. His name was Ernie Benton. Ernie Benton was a fantastic footballer. I was his football coach, right? And he played for New South Wales, which is a state in Australia, right? And he did some fantastic things, but he couldn't help himself because he just kept stealing things all the time. And I felt sorry for him because he saw his father murder his mother, right?
Oh.
There's a little town called Narrabine in far north, western New South Wales. The bottom line is this. Ernie used to come into the class. He said, Mr. B, he said, yeah. I said, I'm ready. I said, okay, good. So I open up the vice. He stick his hands in the vice and I wind it up. So he put his hands out. He said, so he was there for 80 minutes. Right? Now, I mean, if I did it today, you get kicked out of teaching, right? But then Ernie was brilliant, right? And when he didn't steal anything, he said, yeah, thank God, Mr. B, I didn't steal anything today. I said, no, good. You ready to go? Under the thing, away you go.
Fantastic. Peter, we're going to wrap it up. So yeah, guys, this has been Jeff Veale, the business guru, giving people 15 minutes of fame. So if you've enjoyed this and you want your 15 minutes of fame, please feel free to reach out. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel because there are dozens of wonderful guests here, just like Peter, and they've all got a story. So if you've got nothing better to do one weekend, one afternoon, have a look at some of these videos. They're fantastic people. They're people telling you life stories, and you can learn. You can learn from their mistakes, guys, and learn from their knowledge, right? And you can reach out and chat to these people totally free of charge. And guys, if I leave you with one message, invest in yourself, right? Marketing, for example, guys, it's an investment, not a cost, right? That's why McDonald's, Pizza Hut, and Kentucky Fried are #1 in the world. They invest in their marketing. So Peter, you've been a fabulous guest. Thank you very much for your time today.